It's early morning at the Mysore Zoo and the beginning of a new day. Our zoo is one of the oldest in India and was established in 1892 by the 23rd Maharaja of Mysore, Sri Chama Rajendra Wodeyar. During his time, it occupied just 10 acres of land. But over the years, it has expanded tenfold and is now home to over 150 species of animals from India and around the world, including wallabies and cassowaries from Australia, hyenas, rhinos, wild dogs and elephants from Asia, giraffes, zebras, cheetahs and hippos from Africa, and tapirs, jaguars and spectacular birds from South America. This film provides a glimpse of typical events during a day at our zoo. We'll introduce you to some unforgettable characters and even give you a sneak peek behind the scenes. Join us on this expedition and discover why we have been consistently rated as one of the best zoos in Asia. Our zoo is not just renowned for its diverse animal collection, but also for its stately gardens. Designed almost a century ago by the eminent German botanist and garden designer G.H. Krumbagel, these expansive grounds are meticulously maintained to this day. Elegant heritage structures add charm to the gardens, like this bandstand, which was once used to stage music performances. Another historical landmark is the Thandi Sadak or Cool Road, which kept the king shaded as he rode in and out of his nearby summer palace. Today, you can experience both the old world charm of the Maharajas and the excitement of a modern zoo. Set in the heart of Mysore, our zoo is one of the city's main attractions and is visited by over 3 million people every year. On weekends and holidays, the zoo takes on a bustling carnival-like atmosphere with visitors from everywhere. For many of them, a day at our zoo is their first or closest encounter with the marvels of nature. Among the most popular animals in our zoo are the big cats. The glass frontage of our cheetah and leopard enclosures provides an amazing viewing experience. Leopards may be the most agile predators, but their cousins next door are truly awe-inspiring. This handsome fellow is Prithvi. Like most of the tigers in our zoo today, he was born to Manya, our white tigress. Manya herself was born at our zoo in 2005 and has produced many cubs over the years. So far, all of them have been normal-colored tigers. One fact that you may not be aware of is that, unlike in the old days, zoos in India are no longer permitted to capture animals from the wild for exhibition. So to ensure that we always have a variety of animals, we depend on exchange programs with other zoos, as well as captive breeding. Animals born and raised in captivity are well adjusted to zoo life and thrive when provided proper care. This includes spacious enclosures enriched with features that simulate natural habitats. Well-designed enclosures not only have aesthetic appeal, but also create a sense of comfort and well-being for the animals. This rock in his enclosure is a habitual vantage point for Darshan, our own Lion King. The earthen mound in their enclosure is a favourite spot for our Indian grey wolves. Most of the wolves in this pack were born and raised in our zoo. Here they are at just a few weeks old. Their mother Rani did a great job of raising them to adulthood. Across from the wolves are the dholes, which are also known as Asiatic wild dogs. They are smaller than wolves and have a shorter snout. Like wolves, wild dogs also hunt in packs and can easily bring down prey much bigger than themselves, such as the sambar. Sambar are fairly common and widely distributed in India's forests. They are the largest deer in Asia, and a stag can weigh 350 kilos or more. Far heavier than the sambar are the gaur, the largest wild cattle in the world. A bull stands 6 feet at the shoulder and weighs close to a ton. At the other end of the spectrum, we have one of the smallest herbivores in the world, the Indian mouse deer. An adult like this one stands just 13 inches tall and weighs a mere 3 kilos. Towering over all our other animals are the tallest mammals in the world. A male giraffe can grow over 18 feet tall and weigh more than 2,000 kilos. Because of their long legs, eating anything on the ground isn't easy. So we hoist their food up on a pole. A giraffe can extend its tongue by as much as 18 inches. This enables it to pluck leaves high up in the canopy. Most of the giraffes in our collection were born here and continue to breed well. At over 4 tons, the heaviest animal in our zoo is Rambo, our African elephant. Rambo is rarely seen without his faithful sidekick, a yellow-billed egret. The elephant's dung attracts insects, which the egret is quick to snap up. Rambo is now in his mid-20s, and we hope to find him a mate soon. Next to Rambo's enclosure is our herd of Asian elephants. They are extremely fond of water and love to splash around at every opportunity. They are the most pampered animals in our zoo and even have their own shower. Elephants have enormous appetites and must be fed throughout the day. We give them a combination of cooked food, fruits, vegetables, and grass. Keeping our animals well-fed and healthy is our top priority, and it's quite an exercise. Every day, truckloads of food arrive at the zoo, bringing 300 kilos of meat, 400 kilos of fruits and vegetables, 750 kilos of grains, pulses and bran, and 6,000 kilos of grass and green fodder. Only the freshest and best grade of food is fed to our animals, and all items are subjected to stringent quality checks. Our kitchen staff prepares the right type of food for each species. It's a race against time every morning, catering to the many hungry mouths waiting for their breakfast. Irrespective of holidays, bad weather, earthquakes or riots, food has to be delivered several times a day to the enclosures. Of course, where there's an abundance of food, uninvited guests are never far behind. Many free-living creatures benefit from the banquets that are spread for our animals. In turn, they add color and gaiety to our zoo. Some of our birds and animals need special food. These scarlet ibis get their bright coloring from the beta-carotene in the food they eat. So to keep them looking beautiful, we include shrimp and grated carrots in their diet. We also breed and raise mealworms because some animals need insects in their diet at least a couple of times a week, like this African bat-eared fox. We have several species of crocodilians in our collection, and they are fed fish on alternate weeks. Our otters, on the other hand, need fresh fish every day. Here comes their keeper with lunch. Visitors to our zoo might regard the animals they see as just specimens. But to us, each one is a distinct individual with its own personality. Mason, one of our chimpanzees, likes to wave at his admirers like a music conductor. Abhi, one of our Asian elephants, loves to make his own straw hat. He'll put it on and take it off several times a day. This ostrich pair might look like a happily married couple, but for some reason, the male seems to regard his keeper too as a potential mate. Anytime he's nearby, the male will woo him with an elaborate courtship display. Our sloth bears, Ganesha and Durgi, also have distinct personalities. They were raised together as cubs and are very attached to each other. Ganesha is the adventurous one and is always getting up to some mischief. His mate Durgi, on the other hand, likes to take it easy. Whenever Ganesha gets bored, he will cajole the reluctant Durgi into a friendly wrestling match. It's all in good fun and no one gets hurt. Animals at the zoo can also exhibit a surprising level of intelligence. Using a rock to relieve an itch is nothing unusual. But using a branch as a back scratcher? Now that's clever. When his keeper enters the enclosure every morning, Krishna, the hippo, will literally demand a mouthwash. Our male Indian rhino, Virat, knows exactly when it's bath time. He will walk to the bathing area without any prompting and won't leave until he's received a thorough wash. Like Virat, many animals at the zoo develop a close bond with their keepers. But don't be fooled. Only their keeper can get this close. Zoo animals can be very dangerous, and the rest of us must always stay behind the railings. However, if you would like a closer bond with our animals, you can participate in our adoption program and sponsor the upkeep of any of our animals. As a sponsor, you will get special visit privileges, and your support will help take care of some of our feeding expenses. When you see healthy and happy animals at our zoo, it's thanks to the elaborate management protocols we have in place, which are implemented by a staff of nearly 300 people. You may not notice them, but they are everywhere, quietly doing their jobs. Keeping enclosures clean and regularly disinfected forms a large part of every keeper's duties. The main gate and entrances to other sensitive sections also have disinfectant mats to minimize the spread of diseases. Preventive medicine, too, is a crucial aspect of our animal healthcare routine. Today, our veterinary team is preparing to vaccinate the giraffes against foot and mouth disease. The syringe is loaded into a special gun and then fired into the animal's rump. The big males barely flinch when the dart hits home. But next door, the females and their young are already nervous. One by one, the doctors get them all. The vaccine gets injected within seconds after the dart pierces. A couple of flicks of the tail and the dart falls off and will be collected by the keeper. Animals can also get affected by ticks and fleas. Today, it is the turn of these barasingha or swamp deer to receive their periodic treatment for ectoparasites. An organic insect repellent is mixed with water and sprayed in the form of a fine mist as the animals gather to feed. Despite all these precautions, however, animals do get sick sometimes and are treated at our zoo hospital. This sloth bear has been tranquilized and brought in for an X-ray and an ultrasound. Once the doctors diagnose the problem, the animal will be treated and closely monitored. The zoo hospital also houses our animal orphanage. This is Chamundi. She was found abandoned in the wild and sent to us when she was just 6 months old. Her keeper feeds her a special milk formula several times a day. Like all youngsters, Chamundi can be greedy. After gulping down her milk, she will raid her playmate's lunchbox. The Gaur calf must eat quickly before Chamundi finishes everything. Meanwhile, it's feeding time for the other orphans. Sometimes, babies born at the zoo are not properly looked after by their mothers and have to be painstakingly hand-raised. These hyena pups are just a few weeks old, but have insatiable appetites. Hey. They are absolute rowdies and can be quite quarrelsome at feeding time. One of our most popular exhibits is our newly redesigned snake house. Here, you can come face to face with the heaviest snake in the world, the green anaconda from South America, or the longest venomous snake, Asia's king cobra. A male like this one can grow to 18 feet in length and raise nearly 1/3 of its body off the ground. Our walk-in aviaries are also popular as they allow visitors to stroll among the birds. The star attractions in this aviary are the black swans. Our zoo has been a great venue for inspiring a love for nature in young minds. Every year since 1992, about 60 students have been handpicked for a year-long program involving lectures and field visits. The students are taught various aspects of nature conservation, which we hope will instill a lifelong empathy for the natural world. We also pride ourselves as a clean and green zoo and recycle much of the organic waste that is generated. Mega herbivores like rhinos, hippos and elephants eat vast quantities of food. And of course, what goes in does come out. Our keepers have their work cut out, clearing these mini mountains of dung. We ensure that none of this waste goes to waste. From the pens, herbivore dung is sent to our vermicomposting yard, where it is slowly converted to a rich natural fertilizer that keeps our gardens lush and lovely. The best time to visit our zoo is in the morning or the evening, when animals are at their most active. From entry to exit, the pathway through the zoo is 3.2 kilometers, which you can cover in just a couple of hours. But we recommend that you take it slowly to get the most out of your trip. But do avoid the middle of the day if you can, as it's a time when most animals rest. While most visitors come to our zoo to see animals, we also have a great variety of trees from all over the world. Some are as old as the zoo itself. For over a century, these grounds with their magnificent trees and animals have been an important part of Mysore's rich heritage. It has been our constant endeavour to provide the best conditions for our animals and to ensure that visitors have a memorable day at our zoo. We are immensely proud that what started as a Maharaja's private menagerie has evolved into a vibrant and dynamic public institution. With your continued support, we hope to make Mysore Zoo even better in the years to come.